audience, would you like more nudity? Because we can do that right now. You let us know in chat. Turns out the ESRB, which is the Entertainment Software Rating Board, you know who the ESRB is if you've played a video game. They're the one that makes the rating of the game in the back of the box. They were tasked by the FTC, so the Federal Trade Commission, the US Federal Trade Commission anyway, to create a series of workshops to evaluate the value and potential harm of monetization in video games, primarily loot boxes or microtransactions that you could be able to buy directly into the game, right? Mm-hmm. So they released 2 stats that are somewhat scary for the average consumer. And I'm a gamer, you're a gamer, and hopefully if you're watching this, you're also a gamer. However, if you're not, or if you know someone that isn't, that might be trying to get into it, there's some information that needs to be told to them before they really get into buying some like different sort of materials that you could get on like those microtransaction sort of deal, right? So first off, in April of 2018, the ESRB has decided that they were gonna put an associate label in the back of each game if it's available for the game to be able to host any form of microtransaction. So let's say you were to get an actual, like a physical copy of Fortnite, right? The ESRB would put a label in the back next to the rating saying that, watch out, you can actually, there's in-game transactions in that particular game. Mm-hmm. But from April 2018 to I guess now, it's about 16, 17 months, only 18% of all the physical copies of video games that have come out in that 16 months have that label. That doesn't count the stuff you buy on Steam. It doesn't count digital copy you could buy directly from the distributor or the publisher. It doesn't count any other codes that you can find and just like put on like Nintendo eShop kind of deal. It's only physical copies, and that's the only place they've managed to put a label so far. Which it's kind of redundant, because if we're moving to cloud storage, if we're moving to like online platforms, if we're moving to all digital,
ESRB doesn't really have a spot anymore.
Yeah.
Because when you buy a game on Steam, it doesn't go like T for teen in the corner. It asks, are you 18?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody's able to get off that age wall, right? But the second stat, which is even more terrifying to me anyways, is that of the sample group they had of 1,000 people, 1,000 adults, only 32% of those adults knew what a microtransaction was. Mm-hmm. They, like 32%. That's 320 people out of 1,000. Mm-hmm. That's not, and knowing what a microtransaction is doesn't inform you of what the actual nature is, how much money they are, what kind of addictive purposes they have. You just know that it's some form of payment that you can make within a game.
Apex Legends, the Battle Royale game that was rumored to maybe stop Fortnite, but hasn't, maybe, has announced that they're having a limited event called the Iron Crown Collection limited event from August 13th through the 27th. It changes the gameplay of kind of like the team Apex Legends, which you've played, I've played as well.
Well, actually, that Crom and I have played.
Crom and you played. I played by myself with other people. But instead of having the full team, they're focusing this time on an every fighter for themselves action, so like a normal Battle Royale mode for the time being. Republicans and Trump himself have said video games are the cause of the mass shootings. Not saying like it influences them to, they might play video games, so it could influence their behavior. No, they outright said it influences their behavior, right?
They've been having
But they've said this argument for every shooting for the last like decade. Violent video games.
Even more than that.
Or 20 years even, yeah.
I think it was back in like the big crash in 1983 for video games just kind of killed the platform, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong, I could be totally wrong in my dates here, but in 1989 there was a huge sarin gas attack in Japan in a train where a bunch of people died, and the first thing the news was like, oh yeah, Mortal Kombat.
It just came out.
Mortal Kombat is the reason there was a sarin gas attack. Like, they're not.
Correlation does not equal causation, I think is the biggest.
Correlation doesn't equal causation.
But obviously they're quick to blame something else that's not guns because
sorry, thank you, Asterix. 1995.
1995.
Yeah.
But obviously places like the NRA and some pro-gun people like to support the politicians that help them get their way, and they're paid a lot, and there's a lot of them in government. So passing a law like this that fixes gun reform in the U.S. is very hard. The 45th president mixed opinions, obviously, across the board.
44th president, though.
44th president, mixed opinions across the board as well. The 46th, we don't know who it is yet, but the 47th president is where it's at. Because the 47th president of the United States, his name is, was Richard Hawke.
Yep.
Richard Hawke, the 47th president of the United States. Not yet in office, but soon to be in office.
The U.S. president has big balls, big robots,
but
and
he
even
has
bigger guns.
Big balls, big robots, and even bigger guns. Because there's a game.
I love this headline.
There's a game that came out last night called Metal Wolf Chaos XD.
Metal Wolf Chaos XD.
At the end of this XD.
Please
came
roll
out,
the footage.
and there's giant robots. There's big balls because the president is the guy in the robot. You play as the president of the United States of America, fighting off like evil and just kick ass. It's great. Explosions, big robots, big guns. But I think the best part is who makes it, right? When you think of the company From Software, right?
Yeah.
You think of like legendary games right now, like Sekiro or Bloodborne, or Dark Souls, games that are known for being incredibly hard, not games for making you incredibly hard. This next game, though,
well, I mean,
possibly hard nips across the board, is Metal Wolf Chaos XD, and it was originally released back in 2004 on the PS2, I believe.
So is that a remake?
This is a remake of the game.
Okay.
So they upgraded the textures, they upgraded the resolution, and improved the gameplay mechanics, because apparently it was pretty clunky back in the day. But the best part is that you keep the incredible English voice acting, because it's a Japanese game.
Yeah.
They are notorious for making games with horrible English VA, and this is no exception. This was actually, originally, this was Xbox's attempt.
No.
This was Xbox's attempt to make a Japanese market. Because Xbox doesn't sell well in Japan because it's an American console. Typically, PlayStation is what sells well there. Microsoft was like, hey, or Xbox was like, we want to get that market, so like let's make a game for the Japanese public. So they hired From Software to make a game for the Xbox that they thought would do well in Japan.
Treyarch's Black Ops 4 is coming out with a game type called Operation Apocalypse Z, because we are in Canada, so Apocalypse Z. And it will feature the largest Call of Duty map ever.
Yeah.
The game mode is called Pandemic, and it's going to allow 80 players to play all at once. One player starts as the infected, and then it goes all the way to the last man standing. When they were talking about releasing that particular mode, they were thinking maybe they should do like teams and then last team standing win counting. But they were like, fuck it, why not? Last man standing, because it makes it way better. The actual size of the map has not been disclosed yet, but they have released that it's going to be the largest one so far. And it's going to be, the game mode is now available on PS4 and it's going to be released on Xbox and PC, I believe, on 16th, so next week.
Winds of Magic brings Beastmen and Minotaurs to Vermintide 2. For those of unaware of Vermintide, Warhammer Vermintide is an FPS game in the style of Left 4 Dead 2 or other cooperative shooters, where 4 heroes use magic, guns, bows, swords, maces, flails, magic.
What you would find
grenades,
in D&D,
anything you'd find in kind of like a fantasy game.
Yeah.
To kill brutally evil hordes of ratmen and like shadow orc people type things, barbarians, I guess.
Shadow orc people.
The ratmen are called Skavens, and the barbarians are called Warriors of Chaos.
Okay, I haven't seen this trailer yet.
And you progress through a set of linear levels, so like that's where the Left 4 Dead kind of aspect comes in.
Okay.
The first game obviously had like 4 players and killing through. The sequel came out last year, but this is the new expansion called Winds of Magic.
Who makes this?
Fat Shark is the name of the company.
Okay.
Fat Shark. Also, Games Workshop.
Okay.
40K. Not 40K. Warhammer.
Yeah.
Warhammer. The update adds a new group of enemies called Beastmen, which are like little horned, anthropomorphic, like standing tall people, sort of.
Okay.
But they look like beasts with like kind of fur, and they carry like severed human hands and stuff all over them.
Okay.
As well as actual Minotaurs. You can fight as mini bosses. I think that's the coolest part.
Okay.
And they come with a new level devoted to these new Beastmen as an enemy type called Dark Omens. Flamethrowers are new too. There's new weapons. And they also added a game mode, kind of like a horde mode, but they're doing it a bit differently in this game. The horde mode they're doing versus like, here's a set arena. You fight in the set arena. What they're doing is you have a level that you spawn into, like a linear level, and it says objective, complete this objective. and then once you complete the objective, you can leave the level to a next level that's harder. And it keeps going and gets harder and harder as you keep going forward.
It's mostly speculation, but there's a possibility that Death Stranding is no longer going to be a PS4 exclusive. Sony did not make any comments about it. They did not say that it was going to remain a PS4 exclusive, but they did not say it was not going to go. Not say it was not going to go. Yeah, not say on the Xbox One or the Switch or the PC or any other platform you can think of. Back in May, there was an industry journalist with the name of Antonio Fusito that made a report that Death Stranding would only be a time exclusive and for about 6 months, and then it would go on the PC. And usually some games that have some form of exclusivity usually do that because they can cover more platform candy while still gaining more of the profits of their main platform, which is PS4 or Xbox One or Switch or whatever you want to call it, right? But he made a report of a prediction that the game was not going to be an exclusive. And then 6 months later, it turns out that so far, Sony has taken out the name off the page without saying anything about it. Fusito has made previous, what's the word for it? He's made predictions, yeah, about PS4 games that have got released in the past. And I'm talking like old games. I'm talking like when, what's the game? Killzone. When the first Killzone got released on the PS2, I believe, maybe the PS3. I could be wrong in this one. He was saying that it was going to be exclusive. They were just going to stick on that platform, and it ended up doing. Killzone, I don't think ended up moving to any form of PC or stuff. But he was also talking about Wolfenstein Youngblood recently that was going to be cross-platform about anything, and he was also talking about Doom that was going to be ported on the Switch. He hasn't been totally wrong yet, so I don't know why I would doubt him now. I just don't know if it's enough to support. That's why I'm saying it's more of a speculation than anything else.
Epic Games, as we've all known, for the past year,
and that we talked about a lot.
They've made their own platform for distributing games.
Yeah,
kind of competes with Steam, with Uplay, with Origin,
with all the other
companies. They got another game in their library called Ooblets. But
I'm sorry.
But Ooblets.
All right.
Do you know what an ooblet is, Antoine?
No.
An ooblet.
I really like the sound of that.
Ooblet sounds cute.
But the English language is funny to me.
The thing with ooblets, so that's an ooblet behind us. It's like a little fella, cute fella.
Why does it looks like an angry reverse ice cream cone?
Would you stab that ooblet?
I mean, are you forcing me to?
No.
I mean, probably not. No, I'm
will.
pretty indifferent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, the internet doesn't like them.
Okay.
So, no, they might like them, but what they did not like specifically is this game being exclusive to Epic.
Yeah. Yesterday, Gearbox came out with a new character trailer for Borderlands 3 for a character called Amara. And they were showing a little bit of a taste in her abilities as a protector, which reminded me a bit of a Siren. Remember in Siren, Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, where they could go and heal and stuff, right?
A Siren character usually.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if Amara's the Siren in this particular game or if they're going to like surprise us with something else. Yeah, because in all the previous trailers that we've seen in Borderlands 3, we can see the old characters, right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious as to what she will be doing in the game. I'm excited as to what she will be doing in the game.
6 arms.
Yeah. 6 arms. That's a lot of arms to do stuff, audience.
No, but I wasn't going there, but you went there. Okay.
Yeah, I went there. Yeah. But that's just like, if I'm telling you that there's a trailer, you probably already know there's a trailer. If you don't know about it, now you know, so you can go and watch it. There's not much for me to speculate about. There's not much for me to say some stuff about, because clearly, if you're watching a trailer, you're most likely going to end up playing the game at some point.
Well, speaking of arms, Amara, as you've seen, has 6 arms. Luke Skywalker has 1 arm technically because he has 1 robot arm. And robot arms are a new, kind of, not really new, prosthetics have been around obviously for a century, but robot arms specifically, kind of the ones you see in Star Wars or any science fiction, have gotten to the point where they're pretty cool what they can do. They can even like, but they used to be just like little big hands. Just be like this.
And then you'd have to move manually.
But now you can physically like have electronics in your hand. To pick stuff up, stuff down, and live your life very easily, as if you didn't have that kind of technology in your arm. But inspired by Luke Skywalker and Star Wars.
Oh, that looks dope.
A team at the University of Utah has created, a team at the University of Utah called Mobius Bionics have developed a mechanical arm for amputees. Named Luke, it's inspired part by the story where Luke loses his arm in episode 5.
Which, contrary to other people who have been judging me for not watching Star Wars, I have watched that one, and I know what happened.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
He loses his hand in a battle with Darth Vader. The robotic arm links amputees' nerves in order to return function and feeling by signaling the nerve system via peripheral nerve stimulation. Signals are sent by an aspirin-sized implant, which delivers sensory information and feedback. So it can go back and forth between your arm and your brain, basically, to help you use Luke Skywalker's arm.
Wow.
The nice part with Luke's arm.
That looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
This reminds me of the Netgear stuff. No, not the Netgear. The headline that we had like 2 weeks ago that Matt the intern showed up, that they would put like...
Neural net.
Neural net, thank you, yeah.
You'll have neural net in your brain, and then you're gonna freely cut off your arms to put Luke Skywalker arms on your body.
Or this is the beginning of Cyberpunk.
But I think the cool part this is like, while other technologies is kind of out there, like you can move your arm with your mind, sort of, or like with an app or whatever, like you like move your arm a certain way and it knows to turn your hand a certain way. Like I'm gonna move my arm like this, it's gonna twist and grab.
Yeah.
Those exist. But this one, like they think about it and then it does it.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest difference with this one specifically.
Well, because it's all...
Yeah.
And I'm amazed
but in real time,
how far we went with technology and like nerve reconstruction.
Yeah, but like if you're like, okay, I'm gonna think in your own mind, like normally I'm gonna grab this thing right here. You can physically do that now with this arm.
Yeah.
There's no like arm, move, and then you know, or like the way they do it right now with like moving your arm a certain way to grab stuff is actually very ingenious too.
Yeah.
But this could be kind of a bit more advanced, and you can even maybe like put a prosthetic on this so your arm looks like an actual arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I'm assuming that since it's like
robots are cooler, but like
robots are great. Remember what I said. Robots. When you take over, you're great. I love you. But I wonder how far we can go with this.
Yeah.
Right? Are we gonna need
the thing? Prozac brings up a good point. When we brought this up in the newsroom earlier. I thought they're making robot arms that I could cut my arms off and put robot arms. Yeah. I can't block a knife with this hand.
That's not true. You can just once.